Well, how do you like that? Welcome into the Farzy Show, everybody. Hope you had a very merry Christmas. And here, how about this for a Christmas present? Lane Johnson gets touchdown. And even better, the Eagles win. And how about this? Even better, the Eagles right now are in the playoffs. If the season ended today, the Eagles would be in the playoffs. The Cowboys did what they were supposed to do. They're going to win that game. They won that game. They blew out Washington last night. Eagles now got to take care of their own business because they control their own destiny. And if they do that and they continue to win, they're going to be actually in the playoffs where the actual season ends. My, oh my, was that first half terrible. Okay, got that out of the way. Now let's get into that second half. Totally different team. I started the live post-game show last night with this little tidbit. It's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason because it applies so many times. It was the tale of two halves. The Eagles were god-awful offensively in that first half. God-awful. In that first half as well, the defense did exactly what they were supposed to do against Jake Fromm. And they played very well. The offense, not so much. The offense in the second half, totally different game. Now, they were jump-started without question. Rodney McLeod was the defibrillator for the Eagles offense. Rodney McLeod gets the gets the interception. Alex Singleton got the pick six later. Rodney McLeod goes out there, becomes the defibrillator to this Eagles offense. How about that for the defense helping out the offense? So he goes out there, gets the interception. Jannard Avery gets the pressure. Got away with the penalty, but who cares? And he forces that interception. Eagles offense took it from there. 24 unanswered points from that point on. Eagles go on to score 31 points in that second half, and it was a totally different team, a totally different attitude. Well, let's hear from Nick Sirianni as the show goes on as to why that was. Well, let's hear from Jalen Hurts about how it starts with him, and he needs to be better. And here's the thing. Yeah, we can all agree with that when you talk about the way he played in that first half. The Eagles still had some drops that were pretty bad. Jalen Hurts still didn't protect the football when he was going up through the pocket in that first half. He also threw an ill-advised pass that he forced to Dallas Goedert that was originally ruled an interception that was overturned, fortunately, because the DB ended up dropping the football. But overall, I can't get over the difference you saw between first half Jalen Hurts and second half Jalen Hurts. And one of the things that's really been amazing to me over the last two games now, which is just 1 week of football, is how different he has been from first half to second half. And it has been a sight for sore eyes, leaving you a lot to be desired, offensively speaking, not just Jalen Hurts, but the way they respond, the way they show poise entirely as an offense, and the way they bounce back from that adversity. And really, they've been doing it all year. I mean, you're talking about a team that comes out and just looks like something special from jump, right against the Falcons. They look great. 1-0. Well, who would have thought it would be going into week 16 of the NFL season, that you'd be waiting for the Eagles to get over 500 again. And now they've done that by winning 6 of their last 8 games, and all of a sudden in the 7th seed in the NFC, right now in the playoffs, if the season ended today. So let's break it down. Let's get into it because this game offered a lot. It offered so much. The first half, when we look at all the mistakes, I was watching the first play, the opening kickoff. Kenny Gainwell's running the ball up. He fumbles. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside jumps on it. And I'm like, that right there is a bad start. That is not a good start. That's a bad start. But they got the ball back, so they didn't lose it. So that's good. And then on that first series, Nick Sirianni, for whatever reason, doesn't run the football. And as a matter of fact, the first 15 plays, only 5 of them are runs. And I'm not looking for Jalen Hurts to run necessarily because I know he's still got that bum ankle, but I'm looking for running backs to run. Maybe hand the ball to a running back, maybe a guy that's coming off a 130-yard performance against Washington. Maybe hand the ball to them, see what they can do for you. Apparently that wasn't in the game plan. So I was wondering what Nick Sirianni was doing. But in the midst of all that, you have that bad throw from Jalen Hurts where he forced it to Dallas Goedert, near pick, ended up not hurting the Eagles, fortunately. Defense then steps up. Eagles get the ball back offensively, still can't do anything with it. You see a drop by Miles Sanders, and you're looking at the first couple of plays of this game. Then you see the fumble by Jalen Hurts, and you're looking at the first really 2 possessions of this game. One is that fumble by Kenny Gainwell on the opening kickoff. The other is the drop by Miles Sanders. The other is the fumble by Jalen Hurts, and the other is also the near pick thrown by Jalen Hurts. And I looked at the clock, and I went, what do we got, like 2 minutes left in this first quarter? It was the 10:34 mark, I believe, of the first quarter. And you had already seen 4 awful, ugly, horrible mistakes that somehow magically did not really come back to bite the Eagles in the old ass. So that was great. They escaped that. And guess what? You can have plays like that in the first 4 possessions, first 4 minutes of the game against the Giants. You could go on throughout that entire half and continue to make mistakes against a team like the Giants and still win in that second half. I know that there's going to be 2 conversations had. If you guys are going out, if you guys are talking to your friends, whatever it might be. There's 2 ways to play this. The one way to play it is, oh my God, that second half. Oh, thank God they played so great. That was amazing. And then the other way to play it is, did you see that first half? Yeah, you're not going to do that against good teams. And really, in all honesty, both arguments are very fair. I don't think anyone really expected the Eagles to be anything special this year. I had said at the start of the season, if Jalen Hurts is something special, this team can make the playoffs. And here we are. Jalen Hurts has led them to this point where they are in the playoffs right now. So that's a phenomenal thing. The Eagles could be a 10-win football team. Something I said at the beginning of the year, if Jalen Hurts is something special, they could be a 10-win team. I think we'd be in a better spot if the coach figured out his quarterback a little bit sooner rather than later, but that's a conversation for another day. So yes, I am happy. I am excited. I am thrilled that the Eagles are in playoff contention right now. They're in the playoffs. On the other side of that, if you wanted to make any noise, if you wanted them to surprise anybody in the first round, if they do in fact lock up that wild card spot, you're not going to be able to make those mistakes against the Giants. I'm not going to allow the first half of that football game dampen my spirits on what this team is, because I never looked at this team as, oh, they'll get in the playoffs and they'll make noise. No, I am happy with them making the playoffs. Now, expectations will change as they always do, and we'll we'll see them in the playoffs. We'll watch them play a game. They'll have a chance to win. They'll just barely lose that game, and then we'll all be mad that they lost the game, whatever. The expectations change as the season or playoffs go on. So that's a conversation for the future. But right now, I'm not going to look at that first half and go, oh, well, look at they played terrible. That's what I'm going to focus on. The Eagles are in a spot that no one was putting money on them to be in, which is a playoff team and a shot at 10 wins. Jalen Hurts is in a spot right now that not a lot of people bet on him to be in. Like the front office, for instance. Is that Deshaun Watson available yet? No? We'll get him. Oh, yeah, Jalen, get out there and play. Not even naming him the starter until right before the season. Yeah, Joe Flacco is going to be the guy to get out there. No, I don't think so. Jalen Hurts has exceeded my expectations so far this year. And this is one of the things that a lot of people focused on as one of the big mistakes in the first half. Dallas Goedert wide open in the corner of the end zone. I looked at that play, and I looked at the motion, and I saw Quez Watkins go in motion, and then you saw Dallas Goedert streaking to the corner of the end zone wide open. Then they showed on the replay he was even more wide open than you thought. But as you're watching the motion with Quez Watkins, you see Jalen Hurts look off to his right, and you see him signal for the motion. You see him watch Quez Watkins come up the line of scrimmage to the slot, and then they snap the football. Quez Watkins goes up middle of the field. Jalen Hurts' eyes never go off of Quez Watkins. And I'm like, he's telegraphing the hell out of this pass. And he hits Watkins well short of the end zone. They don't score the touchdown. They end up settling for the field goal. And I'm going, that's the play? And then they show the replay on the broadcast, and you see just how wide open Dallas Goedert was. And I'm like, okay, now that's something that Jalen Hurts needs to improve on. He needs to scan the field. Here's what I'll say. After the game, Nick Sirianni, I believe the word Jeff McClain used of inquire was exonerated. He exonerated Jalen Hurts of any wrongdoing on that play because his pre-snap read was Dallas Goedert. If it's not set up the way it's supposed to be, go to the motion. And he went to the motion, and the pre-snap read goes away. He stays on Watkins, and he's supposed to make that. That's the throw he's supposed to make. 2 reasons why. Okay, I accept that, and I agree that that's what he's coached to do. If that's the play call, then he did what he was supposed to do. Just from general quarterbacking, as if you listen to any of the greats or any of the longtime pros, you still don't make the play the way he made that play. And the reason is this. 1, you never telegraph a pass. And he telegraphed and stared down the receiver the entire time. The other, he threw short of the end zone. You can't do those 2 things. So, yes, I'll agree he didn't make the egregious mistake of not seeing Dallas Goedert because that wasn't all on him. That was just the way the play was called. However, when you're going to make that play, you can't let the defense know you're going to make that play. And you see when they jump on that, part of the reason it was busted coverage to Dallas Goedert in the corner was because he was telegraphing the pass to Quez Watkins. That's not a good play. That's not a good play call. And it certainly wasn't good execution by Jalen Hurts. And it wasn't a good play call by Nick Sirianni. It wasn't good execution by Jalen Hurts. So that was something that I know a lot of people jumped on him for the whole he can't read a defense thing. And I'm not there. Does he miss things? Yes, he absolutely misses things. But I don't think Jalen Hurts just looks at a defense and goes, I don't know. And we'll let you hear how he breaks down that play after the game because he was asked about it. He did walk you through what was supposed to happen. Him and Nick Sirianni said virtually the same thing after the game when it came to that particular play. So I don't think it was coach speak or a player trying to skirt blame or anything like that. So that was one play that also stuck out to a lot of people, myself included, in that first half as a huge mistake. That was up there with the fumbles. That was up there with the near interception. That was up there with the drops. That was what there was the offensive line play in that first half, getting penalties as well. Those were a bunch of things that you could look at as big mistakes, but that touchdown that should have gone to Dallas Goedert was one that I know a lot of people are focused on, and I am too today. But it wasn't nearly as bad as we thought it was as the play unfolded. If that was just Jalen Hurts completely missing a wide open target, then yes, sure, blame the quarterback. If Nick Sirianni's coming out after the game going, yeah, we had him, and that's just something the quarterback has to see, then okay, fine, then pile on Jalen Hurts. But I'm not going to pile on him for something that he was coached to do. So that's where the exception is. Looking at the first half of play entirely with Jalen Hurts, you're looking at a first half where he was finished the game 17-29. First half, 7 of 17 throwing. He says after the game that, yes, it was not anywhere near his best game, that he struggled, and that's on him. And I love his attitude about how he takes full responsibility for everything, and the offense really lives and dies by what he does as the quarterback. And that's the mentality, that's the mindset that you want a quarterback to have. But the guy that played in the second half was amazing. We can all talk about the fact that it was only the Giants. We can all talk about how terrible they are. We get that. We know that. Don't tell me the obvious that it was the Giants. The fact that he went out there and responded from an awful first half, not just from him, but from the entire offense, that's something that's amazing. And as the game went on, he loses Miles Sanders. As the game went on, he loses Jordan Howard. As the game went on, he was down to Boston Scott, who, how about that stat? 8 of his 12 career touchdowns are against the New York Giants. That's incredible. We could be looking at this Sunday matchup in Washington against the Washington football team as a matchup of Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell in the backfield. That's interesting. Okay, let's see how that one does. Hopefully it does all right. But overall, it was just a spectacular performance in the second half and rallying this team. The play to Devontae Smith in the end zone was incredible. Jalen Hurts did a phenomenal job rolling to his right, extending the play on that one. He has done that so well throughout this entire season, and he hits Devontae Smith for that touchdown that made you feel like you had the warm and fuzzies, like the Eagles really had this game. That's what made them go up 20-3. It was the Boston Scott touchdown. It made it 10-3 early on in the second half, and then after that, it was the Jake Elliott field goal, and then it was the Devontae Smith touchdown. That I have never seen a touchdown like that before. Not a guy keeping his feet in, but a touchdown that was ruled a touchdown, reviewed, and then nope, we didn't mean that. There's no touchdown. And then, no, we didn't mean that. It was a touchdown. I have never seen that before. Devontae Smith was asked about it after the game. He had never seen that before. I had talked to John McMullen after the game on the live post-game show. He had never seen that before. Derek Gunn had never seen that before. I've never seen an officiating crew go, it's not a touchdown. All right, fine, it's a touchdown. I've never seen that. How does that happen? Like, when the referee was making the call that it was overturned, was there somebody in his headset going, no, not yet. No. Damn it. Let the cat out of the bag too early. It was the weirdest thing. And they showed the overhead view of Devontae Smith drifting out of bounds. They showed the overhead view of that. And I think it was Jonathan Velma on the game that was going, if that's it right there, is this heel down? And I'm like, that's not the angle. That's not the angle. The angle needs to be from the head on, where you can see whether or not his heel is down out of bounds while his toes are inbounds. You can't. That's not the angle. And it was a touchdown. He went down, so the play should be over because that whole surviving the ground with a catch should be dead and buried, and I thought it was a couple of years ago. And DeVonta Smith, yes, he goes down with the football in his arms, and then as he's trying to get up almost is when the ball starts to come loose. And that's what people thought they were really trying to review. I don't think Nick Sirianni ever really got a clear explanation for what the hell they were looking at. I don't think DeVonta Smith ever got one, and Jalen Hurts I don't think ever got one either. He was asked about it point blank after the game and said, I don't know. So to me, that was just a really odd play by the officiating crew. But nonetheless, a touchdown for DeVonta Smith, and the Eagles were up 20-3. Then the big play. The play we're all going to talk about for a long time now. You've heard of Philly Special. You've heard of Philly Philly. How about a little East Texas? And I think when Nick Sirianni even was asked about it after the game, he even had a little Texas twang to him. Well, East Texas. I even tweeted this during the game. My retinas were still kind of burned from the first half, so I couldn't really tell if that was Lane Johnson or maybe Dallas Goedert. Lane Johnson goes out for the pass, executed to perfection, blocks, jumps out of the way, goes into the flat. Jalen Hurts hits him almost in the face mask. And Lane Johnson catches it for the touchdown and then tries to do a lane leap at the link, I guess. And the offensive linemen are celebrating. The team celebrated. Everybody's smiling. And Lane Johnson gets himself a touchdown to make the score 27-3. I mean, that's the stuff they make movies about. I mean, that was just a perfect play to the perfect person at the perfect time. And after the game, Jordan Mailata was great about it. Jalen Hurts was great about it. Apparently, according to DeVonta Smith, Lane Johnson was calling that play throughout the game. No, we got to run East Texas. We got to run East Texas. And then finally, with the score 20-3, they decided to run East Texas. So maybe we get a statue of Lane Johnson and Nick Sirianni out there, and you have Lane Johnson and him say, hey, how about East Texas? You want East Texas? Yeah, let's do it. All right. And it goes out a little East Texas. Now, when that play wins the Super Bowl, that's probably when you'll get a statue. But it was phenomenal. I was watching that, and I just thought, good for Lane Johnson. Good for Lane Johnson. And obviously good for the Eagles, the fact that they're going to win this football game against the Giants, just like they should. Now, when we talk about BetQL a little bit later in the show, BetQL helped me out with something. And I'm gonna tell you what that was. Because I did something in the betting world that I've never done before. I've done something in the betting world that I've never done before. And I'll tell you about that when we talk about our friends at BetQL in a second. But it was just a great win, a great second half play. Alex Singleton got a touchdown to make it 34-3, and the Eagles just rolled the Giants in the second half. And I'll go back to it. It was the tale of two halves. Remarkable performance in that second half. And also, we wondered what Nick Sirianni had to tell his team after the game. We'll let you hear from them in just a second. But right now, before we get to our Rothman Orthopaedics post-game locker room report, let me tell you about my good friend Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. Hopefully, you guys got your Christmas gifts. Hopefully, you got those beautiful Anita diamond stud earrings. Well, guess what? Steven still got them. So make sure you check them out. The other corner of 8th and Walnut, right in Philadelphia, right on Jewelers Road. Do what I do. Trust the great people of Steven Singer Jewelers when it comes to your big jewelry purchases. That special someone ready to pop the question. Ready for Love diamond engagement rings at the ready. So it's not just a clever name. Check out my man Steven Singer, where you know you're guaranteed this every single time. You're guaranteed you're going to get treated phenomenally well, and you're going to get the perfect price every single day. So trust my friend Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers, home of the perfect price. So you don't have to worry about any type of discount, any type of promo code. No. You're getting the perfect price every single time, so that when you walk in, you don't have to feel like you're, I got a promo code. Oh, I got a coupon. Oh, the sale was yesterday. No, the sale's every day at Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, the perfect price every single day. Steven Singer Jewelers. All right, let's jump into our Rothman Orthopaedics locker room report from everything that took place after the game. First off, let's just get Nick Sirianni on the difference between the first half and the second half. Here's Nick Sirianni on that difference.
Again, it was just, I think that's a combination of just how our entire offense played. He definitely missed some throws in the first half that he's going to want back. And I thought he went to the right place with the ball. I know there's a question about, Bob prepped me for a question about a red zone play that we threw to Quez over the middle. Guys, when there's guys breaking this way and breaking that way, you have to alert a certain player, which I'll just try to explain to you as much as I possibly can without giving anything away. You alert a certain player, and then your read starts somewhere else. So our alert was to Dallas versus a certain coverage. It wasn't that coverage, so now we read shallow to angle, and that's what he read. So his eyes aren't there. So I'm not one bit concerned. Like when you give a quarterback and you say to him, when you know their reads as a coach, you don't ever get on him when he misses something like that because it's not a miss. His eyes went here to here, and Dallas is only a pre-snap read. We don't know. Jalen doesn't know that they're going to they busted the coverage. Jalen doesn't know at the beginning of that play that they're going to bust that coverage. Like they made a mistake. They were out of position on that particular play, and that was the read. And so I want to make sure that everybody understands that. And so again, he didn't play his best first half, and when he plays good, the offense rolls. And he did just a great job bouncing back that second half. And again, it's just not Evan Jalen. We didn't play good in the skill positions. We didn't play as good as we played on the offense line. We didn't coach as good as we needed to coach in that first half. So, but again, just a credit to Jalen to rebound and play a good second half because that's what good teams do. They find ways to win.
That's what you got to do. Good teams find ways to win games. Awful, horrible, no good, lousy teams find ways to lose games. And that's the Giants. But good teams find a way to win. And the Eagles were the better team yesterday by far. You didn't need the score really to even look at it and go, oh, yeah, they're by far the better team. You knew going into it. The only thing that was in the back of some people's minds was the fact that the Eagles had just lost to this team a couple of weeks ago, and they got a little revenge. Maybe we were headed for that again if Nick Sirianni doesn't address the team the way he did at the locker room. Maybe they don't do that if Jalen Hurts continues to play the way he did in the first half, if he continues to play that way in the second half. And there you also heard Nick Sirianni talking about how Jalen Hurts and that the play with Dallas Goedert that I just explained, that was his take on that situation as well. Here is more of what Nick Sirianni had to tell the team at halftime.
Just that, hey, good teams win games however they need to win games. If we have to grind this out and be grimy and let the defense carry the way the whole time, we'll do it that way. But, hey, just have that next play mentality of forget the first half and have that next play mentality and come out and ready to go. And they definitely did a good job of coming out and forgetting that. They did exactly that. They forgot the first half and they executed in the second half.
Things just worked out for the Eagles after that second half. After halftime. Basically, it was I got the feeling when they came out at halftime, Rodney McLeod got the interception. When they got that pick, I mean, I'd already thought that they were going to win this game. I was never worried that they were really going to lose this game. I was never really worried. But when Rodney McLeod got that interception, I was like, all right, enough of the crap. Let's get it going. That's it. All the BS is over. Start doing what you're supposed to do. And that's how I felt when Rodney McLeod picked that ball off. Then the Eagles got the touchdown from Boston Scott, then Devontae Smith, and then it was pretty much all she wrote after that. So that was all fine. That was all well and good. Nick Sirianni just saying, like, all right, let's find a way to win this game is, I think, what a lot of these guys needed to hear. The other interesting thing is Nick Sirianni was asked after the game about the fact that they were really struggling in the first half of this season. And I mentioned now over the last 8 games, they're 6-2. Which is pretty much, with the exception of that Giants game, exactly what this team needed to do. The first Giants game, it's exactly what this Eagles team needed to do. And I said in the early goings of the season, when you're looking at that schedule and you're saying, all right, you're going to be facing teams like Atlanta. You got to take care of Atlanta. They did that. Atlanta turned out to be nothing worth bragging about. San Francisco, Dallas, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. You had to take care of business against those teams. Try to steal wins so that in the second half of the season, you're as set up as possible for a playoff run because of how weak your schedule is in the second half of the year. The Eagles have done just that. With the exception of that first Giants game, they have done just that. But still, right now, they're in a great position being that they're in the play. Not just in the hunt anymore. A race in the hunt. They are in the playoffs. So one of the things Nick Sirianni talked about after the game also was how they got to this point. And how this team has responded to adversity. How they have shaken off a really rough start to this season to be in the spot that they're in right now. And he takes no credit for himself. He gives credit to the leaders on this team And he gives credit to everyone's favorite general manager, Howie Roseman.
Yeah, I think again, it just speaks to the leaders that we have in this team, and the fact that we knew adversity is going to come. That's just the way this league is. Adversity hits, whether it's a 2-5 start, whether it's a postponement of a game and having to play 2 games, play a game off a 13-day rest or whatever it was, and then play a game off 5. I mean, that's what happens in this league. So you try to prepare yourself for adversity and be able to handle it. And that's the whole message that we've talked about from the beginning of just dog mentality, next play, next play, next play. Jason Kelsey gave a message to the team last night, which was awesome. And his message was press on. Bad things happen, press on. Press on, press on, press on. He was awesome talking to the team last night. He's just such a great leader. And so it all comes back to the types of guys that we have in that locker room. A ton of credit, obviously, to Howie and his staff of how they've assembled this team. I said to Howie in there, Howie said, great job coming back from a 2-5 start. I said, Howie, great job. Like, what other first-year head coaches are in the position I'm in? We have a great offense and defensive line. Usually when there's a new head coach, it's because the offense and defensive line aren't any good. And so it's just been a great team effort, a great organization that we're a part of. And then it always comes down to these players and the type of leaders that we have.
What? Howie Roseman. What? He assembled a great offensive line. Howie Roseman did an amazing job. Leaders are incredible. Nick Sirianni knows what he's doing, folks. Nick Sirianni knows what he's doing. I would personally, not just for the fact that this is the team we're all rooting to win, but I know a lot of people were out on Nick Sirianni from that intro press conference. And I didn't stick my chest out after that press conference and think, no, this guy just sucks. This guy's an idiot. This guy ain't it. That whole thing. But man, I'll admit it made me a little nervous because you never want to see a guy who's supposed to be the leader of men look so squirmy. And he was doing that. He looked so nervous. And it's like, this is the guy that's going to make the decision whether or not to go for it on 4th down or not. This is the guy that's going to be making goal line plays. The guy, Howie, do I have say over person? No, I think you, okay. No, oh, no, oh, okay, cool. No, I won't have say over personnel, but it'll be group, we'll be together. Howie said it would be together, so it'll be together. Was that? Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a new shirt. Okay. It's what? What is that? And to see him in the spot that he's in now, see him in the out of the hunt and into the playoffs is fantastic. So now it's a very simple task. Don't go wet the bed against the Washington football team who got blown out last night. In case you didn't see that, Cowboys put up 56 points on the Washington football team with Taylor Haneke back there. So there you go. That was Nick Sirianni after the game last night, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Eagles do coming up on Sunday. Let's get to our man, Jalen Hurts. First off, where are we right now? We're at a spot where Jalen Hurts is about to lead this team to the playoffs. And I thoroughly believe that's going to happen. I think they'll beat Washington, and I think they're actually going to put up a nice little fight against the Cowboys, regardless of whether or not that game matters or not to the Cowboys. But here's the thing. Jalen Hurts was asked about the playoffs. Now, this is our good friend who's been on the show multiple times, Marcus Hayes of the Inquirer, asking the question of Jalen Hurts. He's setting up. I think what Marcus Hayes is doing is setting up a question about being in the playoff contention, going from hunt to contention, I guess. What's the way to say it without saying if the season ended today? Would it be the playoff seeding right now? You currently occupy the 7th seed in the NFC. This is the way Marcus Hayes asked the question, and I absolutely love how Jalen Hurts answered this question.
When you have a good game, you talk about whether you won or not. When you have a bad game, you talk about whether you won or not. The winning seems to be the only thing that really matters to you. You guys are a winning team now for the first time, and I think you qualify for the playoffs if it ended today.
I'm gonna cut you off.
What does that matter?
I'm gonna cut you off. I'm not in the business of talking about anything but being in the moment. And everything that we do, it's focused on getting better every day and being 1-0 every day. And we know as a football team, if we control the things that we can control, it should be all right. So any external factors, any rat poison out there. You know, everybody's. I don't really care for it. I'm not trying to hear it. We know as a football team, and I know in my heart that we've yet to play our best game. We've yet to put it all together, and we're striving for that. And I know it'll come at the right time, but we're striving for that.
Rat poison. Rat poison. Talking about the playoffs right now. Talking about being in the 7th seed right now. Talking about it the season ended today. Being in the playoffs. Rat poison. I give Jalen Hurts all the credit in the world, and I have said time and time again that if there's ever been, it's hard to find a person that's easier to root for than Jalen Hurts in terms of mentality, mindset, approach to the game, work ethic, dealing with adversity. It's hard to find a person that's easier to root for than Jalen Hurts. And that answer right there is the most perfect answer. First off, shout out to the Randall Cunningham jersey. We'll get that in a second. But the way he approaches that question, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want that in my brain. I just want my brain, speaking as Jalen Hurts now, in case you're going to tell, I just want my brain to be thinking win. Not, oh, well, you're in, so take a break. Oh, you're in. You don't got to make that play. You don't got to make that throw. You need to do more. Like, I don't want him thinking that it's in the bag. I want him to continue to push. I want him to continue to strive for excellence. That's what you want from your quarterback. He didn't spike the football. He could have very well have spiked that football. Like, people might listen to that, and the Jalen Hurts haters might look at it and go, oh, well, what's he going to say? I'll tell you what he's going to say. First off, whenever you say what's he going to say, there's always something else somebody could say. All right? What's he going to say? I don't know. Let's find out by asking him. So anyway, Jalen Hurts, here's how he could have taken that. Yeah, Marcus, great question. By the way, love your sweater vest. Second, I think it really speaks to the hard work, the dedication that this team has had, the poise this team has had. To know that we're in a spot right now to make the playoffs only really speaks to how great we've come together as a football team and responded to the tough times we had early on in the season. And that's why we're in the spot that we're in right now, to be in the playoff seeding right now. So, yeah, it feels great to be in this spot. And you know what? It wouldn't have really raised that many eyebrows. That's like a textbook answer. For him to go another way and be like, rat poison. I love that. Because there's no him spiking the football. There's no him celebrating too early. There's none of that. There's none of overconfidence. It's like, all right. Like, I think Jalen Hurts in the back of his mind is going, it was the Giants, guys. Like, I think that's what's in the back of his mind right now. But he needed that game. I think the Eagles' offense needed that game, and they now have to go out there and prove it against a team that it will be, I think, better than the team that they faced this past Tuesday. And a team that's going to have a bad taste in their mouth coming off that Cowboys loss last night that we'll get into in a little bit. So, yeah, definitely the tale of two halves from yesterday. Jalen Hurts, we talked about the Dallas Goedert play. This is how Jalen Hurts explained the play. You heard it already from head coach Nick Sirianni. This is how Jalen Hurts described the Dallas Goedert play with Dallas Goedert wide open in the corner of the end zone.
Put the play in, and we're expecting 7 bracket. So basically 29, the safety, McKinney from Alabama. He's bracketing Rager, and they're playing kind of in and out, right? But they're in quarters, cover 7. So got to find a single, maybe. But in their play, what I was coached to do, just go through it as a pure progression, work the shallow to the running back coming, only throw that versus a certain look. And my shallow popped, and McKinney fell off and drove on the shallow after I threw the ball. So McKinney made a really good play, and they busted the coverage backside, so he was wide open over there. So my pre-snap look did not give me what I wanted to throw the corner to Dallas, but definitely looking after the fact. It's easy to say throw them the ball, but you're going to miss something like that, you know. And as a quarterback, you want to play on schedule and get the ball out on time and try your best to do that. And just trust your preparation and your reads and your progressions. And you're going to have guys that pop, but you got to try and stay on schedule and do those things. And, those happen.
Explained it away. Both coach and player very much on the same page as to why Dallas Goedert wasn't hit. I know a lot of people were curious about that, myself included, so I wanted to make sure I got both aspects right there. This is Jalen Hurts overall on his play.
it starts with me. Had some different things we just didn't execute, but we put it together, made some big plays, and put up some points.
Why the Randall jersey, Jalen?
I'm sorry?
Why the Randall jersey?
Oh, man. One of the greatest, and obviously an icon here. And I always talk about how much it means to me to be able to play for this organization, and knowing the great dual-threat quarterbacks I've had come before me, Mike Vick, McNabb, Five, and Randall Cunningham, and I just want to play at a high level and make them proud because they come before me.
I mean, how do you not root for this guy? He says in the first half, it starts with him. Second half, the rest of the team. That's great. Randall Cunningham jersey, party on, man. Was one of the great. Those jerseys, I will say this. I think the greatest jersey in all of sports is the Reggie White, Kelly Green jersey. I think that's the greatest jersey. Randall Cunningham is a close one to that. The white Randall jersey that he was wearing yesterday, that's a very close, I don't know, second in my mind. I just love those jerseys. And then pretty much a lot of the Flyers jerseys because I just think the Flyers logo is the best in sports. Anyway, so that's what he had to say about the first half and second half yesterday in terms of the way he played and the way that one particular play played out. The rat poison thing is something that is going to continue to go around in my brain until this team actually makes it into the playoffs, because I'm looking forward to seeing him get into the playoffs and say, yeah, we haven't done anything yet. I think that's just his mindset. And at the end of the year, that's what he'll probably look back and say, wow, first year head coach, my first year as a starter, adversity on the offensive line, and we kept it together as a team. I think that's when he'll look back and realize that they've accomplished something this season. So that's great. The thing we've barely talked about, we only talked about a little bit, was a Lane Johnson touchdown, and we broke it down a little bit. East Texas. Jordan Mailata was asked about it after the game, and this was the soundbite of sound bites after the game. Jordan Mailata, when asked about Lane Johnson's touchdown.
I'm not going to swear, but it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome, man. I'm so happy that he got a touchdown, and for Lane, a guy of his caliber, he deserves it.
All right, yes, it's funnier because of his Australian accent, and two, it's hilarious because he said he wasn't gonna, and then he did. They're just extremely happy, and also, holy God, his arms are huge. Just look one more.
I'm not gonna swear, but it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome, man. I'm so happy that he got a touchdown, and for Lane, a guy of his caliber, he deserves it.
That is spectacular. Absolutely spectacular for what he's got going on, what he has to say. Love it. That is Jordan Mailata after the game, and yes, his arms are ginormous. That is the play that you want to see time and time again from Jordan Mailata. That's the play you want to see time and time again from Jalen Hurts. That's the play time and time again you want to see from a guy like Lane Johnson. Now, with that being said, what's the next play? What is the next play for the Eagles offense? Most people would like to see Jordan Mailata get the ball. And I am here for that. I want to see that. That's what people need to see. When are you going to line up Jordan Mailata? Here's what I got into yesterday on the live postgame show. Here's my play. 2 plays. Jordan Mailata's in the backfield. Split running backs. Jalen Hurts obviously in the middle. Shotgun formation. Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, Boston Scott. Whoever's healthy. Kenny Gainwell to the left of Jalen Hurts. Jordan Mailata to the right. Fake toss to Jordan Mailata. Fake toss. Quick pass to the opposite running back. Set it up for later in the game. Jordan Mailata in the backfield again. This time you actually toss it to him. Give him the full running start, just like in rugby. Give him the toss back, the pitch, just like in rugby. And then Jordan Mailata goes down the field for a touchdown. And his lead blocker, just to make it more weird, Jake Elliott. Thoughts? No? Yes? I like it. I like it. So that's what I would do. That's just what I would do, ladies and gentlemen. I think everybody agrees the next trick play they want to see, or the next gadget play, is Jordan Mailata getting his hands on the football. Shout out to my friend Trey Thomas, who I never heard this before, called Lane Johnson's touchdown a thick 6. A thick 6. Get it? Absolutely love it. So that's what we got from the post-game report, courtesy of our great friends of Rothman Orthopaedics. Let me tell you about Rothman Orthopaedics and how fantastic they are. When you have an orthopedic issue, you need a physician who eats, sleeps, and breathes orthopedics. You need an exceptionally specialized Rothman Orthopaedics physician. They not only specialize in orthopedics, but each of their physicians only focuses in on one area of the body, which means you're going to have the confidence to get past the pain and be what you were. Visit them in one of their 30-plus locations in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, including their 4 orthopedic-only urgent cares. Learn more at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. BetQL, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the good people of BetQL, because I had a hunch. On something last night going into the game, yesterday afternoon, I should say, where I thought the Eagles were going to blow out the Giants. And the line in the game was 10.5. And I said to myself, bah! Eagles got it by more than that. So I beep, bop, bop, beep, boop, bop, bop, punched it into BetQL, looked at their research, and said, I'm doing it. And for the first time ever, I bet an alternate spread. Doesn't get more cocky than that, folks. I bet an alternate spread for the Eagles to win by 14.5. And they covered. Thanks, BetQL. Their best bets Their best bets computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports. And they give you the reasoning behind why you should place that bet. Their model covers everything from point spreads to over-unders and player props. And if you want to use their model and you prefer to do your own research, BetQL has all the necessary tools for your betting research needs. Everything from sharp data, line movement, team summaries, lineups, injuries, breaking news, and they even have a leaderboard for you to track your own success. And you'll have a lot of it when you use BetQL. It's how you get the advantage and get the edge over your sportsbook. BetQL. Download the BetQL app right now in the App Store or Google Play Store right now. That's BetQL. Let me tell you about the amazing people at PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience. Here's what you got from everyone at PHL Sports Nation. Ben Simmons stories. You got Eagles stories. You got Jalen Hurts stories, obviously. Flyers as well. They're all over the place. It's a good time, and it's how you keep up with all your Philadelphia sports news with PHLSportsNation.com. Let me tell you about WinView, the only game where fans can take on other fans and end the debate once and for all. Who's the biggest sports fan? If you have those friends or family members who think they know everything about sports, play them in a WinView contest and see if they can walk the walk as well as they talk the talk. That's what I like to do. Maybe you're not doing so well in your fantasy football game. Maybe you want to challenge someone in your league, do a little friendly bet, little friendly wager on WinView. That's how you can take advantage of all they have to offer with the amazing people of WinView. You're tracking the games on Sunday, maybe tonight, Monday Night Football. Challenge somebody in your fantasy football league and see if they can, again, walk the walk as well as they talk the talk. It is not a sports book. It is not daily fantasy, but it is a social gaming app where fans can take on other fans and end the debate once and for all. Who knows more sports? So do what I do and use the WinView app right now. Interesting Monday night matchup right now. If you want to jump on it with Saints and Dolphins going on in Monday Night Football, Dolphins just keep on winning. Hopefully the Saints, I know that they're going to be up there with the Eagles as well. The Eagles hold tiebreak. I know you want the Dolphins to lose because of the draft pick that the Eagles get first rounder, but the Saints also losing would help the Eagles playoff odds just a wee bit. So make sure you check out WinView and all that WinView has to offer. Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show, the chat check. Everybody, let's see what the good people of Philadelphia are saying about this victory for the Philadelphia Eagles. Kevin, good morning. Nice to have you. T-Bro, victory! T-Bro, I saw you in the chat last night, man, on the live post-game show. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to try it. Well, John Cheesebro, let me say hello to you, JC. David, good morning to you. Go Birds. April, good morning. James, good morning. All right, I'm going to try this. Augusto is the last name. Abimelech Augusto. And do you go Augusto? All right, anyway, welcome to the show. Nice to have you on. Excuse me. James, hello. John, here's what annoyed me. Hurts, once again, doesn't see the whole field. It's like he has his mind made up about where he's going before the snap. Also, Joe Judge is Joe Judge is my former Summer League teammate, okay? Play a little ball growing up together at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Summer League. Our Lady of Mount Carmel Parish, Doylestown. Joe Judge is a great dude. I mean, maybe there's no better time than the present. I don't think I've told this story on this show. I was in Atlanta doing a Sunday Night Football game, Patriots-Falcons, and I got a text from my old basketball coach, our old basketball coach, guy named Mike Carty, great guy. And he goes, oh, Marc, you're at the game tonight. Go say hi to Joe Judge. Now, Joe Judge, I had not seen or communicated with since we both happened to be at a dance at Lansdale Catholic. I didn't go to Lansdale Catholic. I went to Archbishop Floyd. But anyway, and Joe and I saw each other, caught up for a minute. Hey, man, how you doing? Good to see you. He was always the nicest guy in the world. Great dude. And caught up for a minute. Good to see you, whatever. I had not thought about the name Joe Judge probably since I left that night. Anyway, I got a text from our old coach, and he goes, go say hi to Joe Judge. I'm like, why would I say hi to Joe? He goes, he's a special teams assistant for the Patriots. He's in town. He'd love to see you probably. Go see him after the game. And I'm like, all right. And so sure enough, I go in the Patriots locker room after the game, and I see one of the kids that's like cleaning up the towels. And I go, hey, man, do you know where I can find Joe Judge? Like, who wants to talk to a special teams assistant after a game like that? And he was like, oh, yeah, follow me. And he brings me into the assistant coach's locker room. Or the coach's locker room. And Bill Belichick's not in there. Let me spoil it right there. And it's just a bunch of naked dudes, like 60-year-old dudes, just totally naked. And totally nude. And he's like, hold on a second, wait here. And I'm like, what the hell? And then maybe a minute later, Joe Judge comes walking out. And he's like looking at me like he knows me, but he doesn't know me. He's trying to place me. And I'm like, Joe Judge? And he's like, yeah. And I go, Marc Farzetta, Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And he goes, oh, my God, dude. Throws a hug on me. Now, he's not naked. He is not naked, fully clothed. Both of us fully clothed. Everyone else naked. Throws a hug on me. Dude, what's up? How you been? I'm like, I'm great, man. What's going on? Coach Carty told me to hit you up, and here we are, and whatever. And he's like, that's incredible. What have you been doing? What are you doing here? Whatever. And I'm like, I'm working for NBC, whatever. And, we caught up for a little bit. And then we would catch up whenever I was doing a Patriots game. Whenever NBC was doing a Patriots game in Sunday Night Football, we'd touch base and catch up. And then I saw him before the Patriots won the Super Bowl against the Seahawks. And he was with his family, and it was just a beautiful moment for them because they're on the field celebrating together. And anyway, I'm really happy that he got that Giants job. I'm happy for him personally. I wish it was going better for him, just not against the Eagles, of course. But great guy, and I am rooting for him. I am rooting for him. And if anything does happen with his job status in New York, I hope he gets a job somewhere else and he gets in a much better situation than the one that he walked into there in New York. But anyway, yeah, I've known Joe Judge since we were kids. I don't want to paint the picture that we were like best friends or anything. It wasn't that. But definitely a guy from the old neighborhood that it was good to catch up with. Anyway, back to the chat. Sorry. April, good morning once again. April, first half was terrible. Could definitely tell that they were tired from Tuesday. You know who was really tired from Tuesday? I didn't think about this till I was watching the game last night with the Cowboys. The Washington football team. That team was tired from Tuesday. Like, imagine for a second that the Eagles played on the road, then had to fly back, or then had to come back home, then fly to a game on Sunday. Now, I know a lot of people look at those games that like professional athletes have to fly to, and they go, oh, it's a lap of luxury. They're fine. It's not like they're getting on, Spirit Airlines or something like that. No offense, Spirit. But it's not like that. They're like catered meals, recliners. You got a full row to yourself, whatever. No, it's the time. There's no, like, if they could teleport to Dallas, then yeah, it'd be a different story. But they obviously weren't. So that's got to suck. That would really suck for the Eagles. So the Eagles got the better end of the deal in that they obviously didn't face the Cowboys, much better football team. They faced the Giants at home, and they were a trip up 95 from that. No Ragerisms today because he actually played decent yesterday. That's interesting. Vincent Pellegrini. What's up, buddy? On the other hand, the offense is set up where Hurts is not supposed to scan the field the whole time. That one play in particular, sure. Nick and Hurts talked about that play that Marc is talking about. That's the Goddard play. Yeah, like here's what I think is the fair assessment. I don't like the play call. Put it that way. Because I don't like anything that's supposed to cut down a quarterback's vision. I understand that sometimes that has to happen. I didn't think that was a situation where he had to do that. And the other thing that you could also fairly criticize is, why is Jalen Hurts staring down? Even regardless if that's his target, if that's his only read, why is he staring him down? That's what I will put under the umbrella of, this is a first-year starting quarterback. All right, this is the first year he's gone through the starter's role in the entirety. He's gonna take time to develop. And the overall thing that's under that umbrella is that he's got this team in a position to make the playoffs. So I'm not piling on Jalen Hurts. I think a fair assessment is, even if that is your one read, don't stare him down. You might as well just go like, I'm going to him, everybody. 16, everyone, right? No? Okay, 16. Walky's at 16, right? I get him and Rager confused. Anyway, there you go. Florio said on Football Night in America that Sanders may have a broken hand. Jordan Howard has a stinger. Miles Sanders possibly a broken hand. You saw the footage, not footage, but the screen grab, still frame, if you will, of his hand wrapped up in his pocket, barely in his pocket. That's how you saw it. Doing supposed to shows limiting what they're asking him. No, Vince, that's a good point. But I think on that particular play, that's what they would ask a lot of people to do. That particular play, like, it's a very specific, very unique play call. I still think that Jalen Hurts needs to get better at scanning the field. And I think one of the greatest gifts any quarterback can possess, one of the greatest talents, is the ability to look off a safety. Because that takes some cojones, man. And the best person I ever saw do it was Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the guy I always go to when I talk about looking off safety, trying to shake corners, not telegraphing passes. Like Patrick Mahomes does it really well, especially with his sidearm no-look passes, but I think those have been ill-advised. And I think over the last couple of weeks, last 10 weeks, really, he's cut down on those dumb plays. But Aaron Rodgers is the guy that I look at that is just perfect at staring down one receiver, and then you see the safety start to drift over, and then bang, other side of the field, touchdown. Like, if I could give a gift to any quarterback that I really want to see do well, it's that gift, because that is just manipulating the secondary to an extent that they have no idea how to get out of that mind mess that the quarterback's putting them in. If that's something that Jalen Hurts develops, and that's something that's going to take time, that would be incredible. By the way, we're going to have a special chat check coming up in a second that I want to get to. Florio, Rager, yes, Vincent. Referee crew was awful yesterday. They weren't good. I saw some people talking about Jonathan Velma. Was it Kenny Albert yesterday? I like Kenny Albert. Jonathan Velma yesterday was terrible. Like, awful. Like, it really takes a lot. And I say this every time, for me to actually pay attention to announcers. And it's not like an arrogant thing like, what are they going to tell me? It's just like sometimes just shut up, dude. Like, we don't need to hear that our great grandfathers booed Santa Claus once and threw snowballs at him. Played, man. Played. Like, I did a bit one time, not to bring up Sunday Night Football again, but I did a bit one time where the social media guy for Sunday Night Football asked me to go around Philadelphia with Santa Claus, or excuse me, asked me to go around Philly talking about the Santa Claus incident. And I said, man, the only way that is a shot at working is if we play it as, we're tired of that narrative. We're all over it. Get over it, national media. And he goes, yeah, that works. And luckily for me, I happen to know a Santa Claus, Pat Jackson. What's up, Papa J? Pat Jackson. And he's a Santa Claus. And, he works for Santa, for the kids watching. And I brought him out with me, and we did the bit as, we're sick of people bringing it up. Look, we love Santa. It's all cool now. And people still rip me for even doing that bit. So anytime it gets brought up, it's a no-no. So Jonathan Velma brings it up in like the first quarter of the game, and everyone's rolling their eyes, myself included. Jonathan Velma's talking about bad plays the Eagles are making, how they're getting away with stuff. He's trying to crack jokes about the officiating crew during the overturned and then reconfirmed play on the field with Devontae Smith. I just thought he had a very annoying broadcast yesterday. Not a fan of Jonathan Velma. Kenny Albert, all on board for it. Oh, what do you got here, PJ? We have a little conspiracy theory? Farzy show. I wonder if Hurts gets chewed out when he audibles, not often, and not just checks at the line. How that might influence his thought process. Interesting. Again, that particular play with Dallas Goedert is something that I think is just the way it was called, and I think both the quarterback and the head coach were very much on the same page. Sean, I want Joe Judge to stay the Giants head coach for a long time. Joe Judge, worst coach in the league. I don't know if I go that far. I don't think Robert Saleh is really doing anything special there with the New York Jets, to be honest with you. And I know Saleh had that great opening press conference. He's a tough guy. Yeah, I don't know about that. John Cheesebro, Vince, I would have told you you'd been blazing with Farzetta. What's the second? Cody asked to blaze with Farzy and to go to Checkers after. Now that's a good Christmas. Oh my God. 7 fish, folks. Oh my God. Let me tell you about a 7 fish for a second. I made it a lobster ravioli. Did a couple of test runs earlier in the week because I never made a lobster ravioli before. Did a couple of test runs, gave the samples to the neighbors, right? And I gave them away. And pots and pans, folks. Pots and pans. I don't like it when people go, like they make a meal and they go, isn't this good? Like, shut up. You made it. Was he bragging? But I'm going to tell you right now, pretty proud of it. I'm just going to say I'm proud of it. I made it a fresh pasta, made the pasta myself. I did everything but go to the ocean and take the lobster out and milk the cow. I did everything but that. And, it was fantastic. It did turn out really good. I surprise myself sometimes. I did mock him for flower watering. I was out on the flower watering. You got me for that. And the fertilizer. April, don't give Howie more credit. His head is barely small enough to fit through the door anyway. April, you're not wrong. Inside Birds, what's up, boys? Playoffs? I have a Jim Morris story that I'll regale you with a little later. I agree. NBC wishes they had another game to switch to like CBS with Jets Chiefs and Steelers, Broncos, Raiders. Love the Cunningham jerseys. April, how could you not, right? Sit down, Marcus. Marcus Hayes asked a legit question. There's no problem there. I love the answer more than the question. Vincent, yeah, new breed of announcers, Sanchez, Vilma, not good. I didn't mind Sanchez. See, that's the thing. Like, I didn't mind Sanchez, Vilma, not so much. JC is also out on James Lofton. Yeah, I'd agree with that. What announcer is good? Romo. I predicted this a long time ago with Romo when he first started because I knew what he was doing. Romo did what I think announcers are told not to do from jump, and Romo knew a lot already. But I think because he was just in the league and he was just breaking down some of these defenses, but as a player, but Romo, I think he violated. This is just a guess, speculation, if you will. I think Romo used too much of what was in the production meetings with coaches and players on the air that he shouldn't have. And people don't realize this, and it's crazy. Coaches and players literally talk about the game plan with the announcers and with the producer director of the show. They literally talk about the game plan. And that's not just for national shows on NBC or Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football or Fox, right? Or the 425 game on CBS or Fox. That's not just for that. That's for every TV broadcast. So that's why a lot of times you'll hear an announcer say, well, talking to Nick Sirianni earlier in the week, like Jonathan Veltman yesterday, Nick Sirianni said he was watching The Office and the Seinfeld while he was in quarantine. That's what Nick Sirianni told him in those little meetings that they have before the game for the production meetings. That's how they know that stuff. So when they reference game plan, a lot of times it's something that the coach already told them or the player already told them. Whether it comes out in a fun fact type of thing, like he watched Seinfeld in quarantine, Or it's something like, oh, they wanted to make sure they got Dallas Goedert involved here, whatever, something like that. April, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be killing you. I don't know if lobster ravioli is really going to travel well. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what did you get in the mail? Lobster ravioli. Weird. I'm not eating that. So there you go. Mopar. Good morning, Mopar. Did I miss anybody? Polly. Oh, I like a Polly. Polly Brown. What's going on? Throwing snowballs. Oh, I didn't see that. They were throwing snowballs in Seattle? It's like a new Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan movie. Snowballs in Seattle. There we go. How about Nick Foles yesterday in Seattle, by the way? Not too bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Thanks for everyone that checked in on the chat check. Before we move into the morning rush, how about this? A brand new thing for chat check. I want to give this a shout out to my man Ari, who wrote me this yesterday. Ari Stein, what's going on, buddy? At Farzy, at Marc. All right, here you go. Live in California, so don't ever get to catch the show live, but replay. Okay. So it doesn't get really to participate in the live chat. So he tweeted me this. And I feel like, and I always told you guys before, I love David Letterman. So this makes me feel like the old CBS mailbag. Letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters. Letters. Okay. So, and a listener writes, live in California. I don't get to watch the show live in California, so I get to watch the replay. If you have time to address this tomorrow, I'd be grateful. Jalen Hurts has been inconsistent this year, and that's okay. He's basically a rookie. It's rare someone is a Pro Bowler out of the gate. And look at this. He's an alternate Pro Bowler. How about that? And then he writes me this. 2 flaws that I consistently see pop up. Underthrowing the deep ball and missing wide open guys because he is focused on option 1. Plus generally telegraphing throws. Questions. Are these flaws fixable? Can you think of a QB who overcame similar shortcomings? If the answer is yes, I'm really excited about our future. If the answer to these can't be taught, if the answer is these can't be taught, I'm starting to wonder if you have any time to discuss this in the show. I would love it. If not, that's cool. Well, all right, let me just put this back up here so I know I'm addressing your question here. So we'll go for the good people on the for the good people on the podcast here. 2 flaws that I consistently see pop up here. Underthrowing the deep ball. Definitely guilty of. I think he has it in him to air that ball out, but you have seen that ball underthrown on numerous occasions this year. I have seen him make that throw a few times, which lets me know it's there, but for whatever reason, yes, he has a tendency to underthrow the deep ball. I will say this, Devontae Smith's catch that was deep down the field, really high pointed the ball really well and caught it. I don't think that was underthrown. I think that was he could have thrown it a little bit better, but that was a situation where Devontae Smith cut under it to high point it to catch it. So I don't really fault him so much for that. The Quez Watkins throw a little bit later in the game, yeah, you could definitely say was underthrown. Quez Watkins went up to get that one as well. But also you got to think the safety was over the top. So those are 2 plays I think he's going to get killed for that I don't think he necessarily should in this game. But yes, I would like to see him air it out. I have talked also earlier in the season about a ball that he aired out to Jalen Reagor. I want to say that was against San Francisco, that if he catches that ball, that's a deep ball that goes in the back pocket of Jalen Hurts. It goes on his resume as a good deep ball. The other one, but Jalen Reagor was out of bounds. The other one was the Devontae Smith catch that he was also out of bounds on that would have been touchdowns. That would make his resume look a lot better. He's had opportunities to try to change that up. He hasn't done it. He had the underthrow to Dallas Goedert Tuesday against Washington. The Dallas Goedert bailed him out on by making a great play. It's happened enough where, yes, it's a concern, but it's happened enough the other way where I think it is correctable. I think it is fixable. And I think as his career goes on, that it's something that he will definitely do better. Look, Donovan McNabb, in a way, spoiled us because he was great from Jump Street on those deep ball. Like, nobody threw a better, more accurate deep ball than Donovan McNabb. It was the short throws that definitely had you thinking twice. Now, whether or not he focuses way too much on the first option, I think a lot of people, as we've explained numerous times, will look at that Dallas Goedert play as an example of that. Still, I'd like to see him not stare down the receiver. That's a no matter who you are. The one quarterback that jumps to mind, that was a one-read quarterback that got better as his career went on, especially as he changed coaches, was Alex Smith. Alex Smith under Jim Harbaugh was a one-read quarterback. Jim Harbaugh literally told him, and Colin Kaepernick actually, make your read. If it's not there, go. And you notice when Alex Smith went under Jim Harbaugh's system, he had his best years as a quarterback and then went on to play under Andy Reid and obviously was coached up a lot better and became a better quarterback under Andy Reid as well when he was looking at his multiple targets. But one Reid quarterbacks that got better, that's the one that really jumps to mind, is Alex Smith and how he got better, because he was asked to do a lot under previous coaches in his previous stints in San Francisco. And then once he didn't have those coaches anymore and he was doing different things, that's where he became a better quarterback. He was asked to do less, and that's where he became better. So he got better as his career went on at doing that, and he got better at a later stage in his career at doing that. I'm hoping Jalen Hurts can obviously do that same type of thing, where he is much better at scanning the field, eventually gets better at looking off passes down the field, looking off safeties to get those passes down the field, and that's something that will come in time. And everything that I look at with Jalen Hurts, I look at under that umbrella, almost grade with a curve, if you will. And to think about that, even in doing that, his first year as a full-blown starter in the NFL, he's in Pro Bowl conversation, and he's got his team in the playoffs. Hopefully he gets his team in the playoffs, as right now they occupy that 7th seed. So that's something that I like to do. Throwing late is another one that I think he needs to be better at. Philip is pointing that out right now in the chat. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Wholeheartedly agree with that. Sorry, I'm an idiot. So there you go. All right, that's the chat check, and that is our CBS mailbag. Letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters. Letters. All right. Morning Rush segment. In case you didn't see it, ladies and gentlemen, here is the official score. The Cowboys beat the Washington football team 56-54. I don't know what now, for anyone that thinks I smoke pot, you're going to think I actually smoke pot. They won 56-14. The Cowboys did over the Washington football team. Dak Prescott had himself a nice little day at the office. Dak Prescott, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 131 quarterback rating, 330 yards. So there you go. Anyone that has Ezekiel Elliott on your fantasy team, I regret to inform you, 37 yards, 1 touchdown. Okay. Tony Pollard, 34 yards, 16 yards receiving. So there you go. The 76ers also played last night. They won. I'll get into that Christmas Eve spectacular that they had against the Hawks. I'll get into that at another time. Excuse me. Against the Hawks. I'll get into that at another time. Excuse me. Christmas Eve that they played. That was terrible. But Washington, they took care of business against them last night, 117-96. So that was nice. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. That was our morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars and SkyMotorcars.com. Guess what? Bonus me today. That's right. I'll be on Fox 29 coming up again at 7:45 today. So just make sure you guys don't miss it. Hope you guys had a beautiful, wonderful Christmas. Eagles get the win over the Giants. We're all excited about that. Eagles are in the 7th playoff seed in the NFC. So there you go. April says the espresso is wearing off. You're damn right. I'm going to go get some more espresso before my Fox hit. There you go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. We'll be talking to you. I'll be back all week. We're doing the show all week, so I look forward to that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Jim Hyden produced the program, did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job, as per usual. This is a Buzz Sports and Entertainment production. My thanks to our staff as well, who helped us out with this. Billy, Brendan, Ellis as well. You guys do a great job. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Back with you guys tomorrow. See ya.